Shading under the golden branches of my love. Can somebody give me a feedback out there? Let me know if you guys hearing me properly. I'm getting a sort of slight feedback technologically. I'm not sure what's taking place here. I see Kyle on the board doing his best, but based on what I'm hearing through my headphones, I'm getting a sort of distortion. So just let me know if all is well with my voice in terms of clarity out there. All right. So grand uprising, my people. I hope everyone is doing wonderful, wonderful. It's a beautiful day and it's a beautiful time to be alive. Regardless of what's going on in the world, we have to get along with each other. And that makes lives a lot easier. All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, good morning to you. Good morning, Bago people, my Tobago people. Good morning to my Dallarfordians. Yeah? Okay. They hearing clear? All right, cool. Good morning to my Dallarfordians. Blessed morning to you. Hope everybody's doing wonderfully wonderful. Dallarford, good morning to you. Yes. So let's do something this morning. Before I jump into this, I'm going to talk about something that is basically dear to my heart because the few people that I take on to do some personal training with, I don't find, like I said, I'm not knocking it because I've gone through the shoot. And this is what gave me, what I'm doing here now, this is what gave me a jump ahead in terms of understanding chronic diseases and how I can pop the neck, help the body to pop the neck of those pathogens and viruses and stuff like that, right? And unwanted bacteria in the stomach. That's because of my training in fitness, being a fitness expert, understanding the physiological part of that particular dynamics and metric and how it works. So because of that jump ahead, I'm able to now sit on a platform like this and give you guys as much information as you possibly can so you can be well informed. And I'm going to talk about something this morning called autophagy. Autophagy and mitophagy and the difference. It won't be taking long, but when I'm finished, you'll have a hands-on and why it's so important for you to implement in your life so that you can be a healthier being. Again, my thing is not you or a person living 120 years old, but I establish quality of life. That's what I'm after. Quality of life. All right? And based on that information, it will help you to go to that particular journey. Just remember, health is not a sprint, it's a journey. Being in good health and your health span, it is a journey. All right, say good morning again to my wonderful, wonderful people. Panella and crew, good morning to you. Panella and crew, what go on this morning? I realize you guys got into class very early. You're trying to make up for all the times that you're missing. All right, it's all good. I'll accept that. Good morning. Blessed morning. Good morning, Angie. Blessed morning, Angie. Angie and I was having a conversation this morning. I can't talk about I can't talk about the conversation in terms of why I think sometimes my head does temporarily shake. I would admit that. The people who head shake sometimes and don't want to admit their head does shake, those are the people who run into a wall. But I admit my head does shake sometimes, and I wouldn't talk about the reason I referred that particular conversation with Angie this morning. But it's all good. Angie, good morning to you. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Drink some water and try to rest, and things going to be all right. Okay? So love in the house there. Bego, Wagwan, Doggy, Cut, Body, Bim Bim, the whole crew in Dallarford, Michael Best, what's going on this morning? My siblings, how you guys doing this morning? Joe Blunt, Wagwan, Lynette, up the house, how are you? Kerry, good morning. My darling sister Allison, how are you this morning? Good morning to you, love. Okay, good morning. Bowich, Dancer Boy Bowich, Keith Johnson, how you doing, brother? Wax Dog, senior, although he's a junior, he's just a junior to the Wax Dog, Daniel, Andy Daniel. What's going on this morning, bro? I talked to my brother Andy Daniel very briefly this morning. Good morning to you, my brother. We go way, way, way back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And good morning to Mr. Brassy, retired police officer. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to MVP Mass. You guys going to hear much about that going down for Tobago Carnival because I'm involved in one of the Juve band and night mass. I get pulled into that, so I am looking forward to that. My section is Phoenix Rising. So I call me for when it's time for registration. Call me. Let me redirect you to the right people, and we doing what thing, because when it comes to my carnival, I love it. All right, who don't like it? No problem with me and you on that. But just please give me a break when I say I love my carnival. All right, ease me up on that now. I love my carnival, bad. So you'll hear more about that going down the road. Tash, good morning to you, my dear. So good morning again, everybody. Framework, go on, brethren. Blessed morning to you all. Blessed morning. Kellan, ma'am, good morning to you. Good morning. Mr. and Mrs. Santa Cruz, good morning to you. Ryan, good morning to you. My brother Jason McPhee, what's happening to you? How everything, man? Hope all is well. And a special good morning once again to our new installed Commissioner of Police, Mr. Guevara. I tell you already something about that brother. I know this place is going to get fixed. Something about that brother. He's cool but rigid. He's an undercurrent. I don't think he's a man to be messed with. And once again, a man as myself, okay? You know, sometimes people will tell you, well, self-praise is no recommendation. Well, you sit down there. Because if you don't have confidence in you, or you want to take that out of context and talk about self-praise and no recommendation, you can go ahead and say that all day long. Because everyone is entitled to their own opinion. We are just not entitled to our own set of facts. In my not so humble opinion, Mr. Guevara is a very, I don't know, spiritually I tell you, that man struck me as somebody this place gonna get fixed. And the disenchanted police officers who, in my view, are being underpaid out there every day, I think things are going to work out better, because they need moral support. They're a trip off on us sometime on the road, but they need that moral support. And we have to give it to them. So good morning again to the police officers. Good morning, fires. Good morning to you. Good morning to the Coast Guard. Blessed morning to our regiment. Blessed morning, everybody out there. Even the emergency department. Good morning to you guys. You've been seen. Good morning to my cousin Scrappy. What's going on, my brother? I have to see you today, my brother. I'm not sure if I can fly straight from the studio up to see you, but I'm going to try, because I have some pending appointments. So I'll do my best to see you. So good morning again. Somebody asked me again over the weekend, well, why do you send out all these greetings to these people before you start your program? And I calmly say, because I love my people. It's very simple. That's what it is. All right, so let me see who I missed out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, if it come to mind, I will just send back that love, right? But for now, you guys know where my heart is. And I thank God every day for the opportunity to be on a platform like this, where I'm able to expatiate my mental faculties and give you guys as much information as you possibly can, so that you can make an informed decision where your health is concerned. My disclaimer, clearly, I don't know everything. And that's why I consider myself an intelligent brother, because I know I do not know everything. The next part of the disclaimer, not because I speak profoundly about a particular subject matter and I may come across like I know everything, doesn't mean I know everything. No, it just means I know what I'm talking about. Period. All right, so having said that, I want to touch on something that a brother called in last week on, and I'm not going to stay long on it, which I thought was a very, very brilliant question. And also my brother, my biological brother, would have called in and asked about bottled water and stuff like that. And I'm saying to the public as a whole, I am not making any preference or being favorite with certain water, because I'm not going to talk on the radio which water I think best, because I test them myself. All I'm saying is that you got to be careful with every single bottled water, because as men, it hammers our testosterone. It destroys the nitric oxide that we have in it, in our body, which we need, and we need to be very mindful of that. And in terms of the conversation that the brethren would have called in and talk about different poisons and in the food and why kids behave in a particular way, it is very, very true. I just want to punctuate that I think more of us should be paying attention to those things. All right? And that's that. You know, we like to get all up in our feelings with reference to certain things, and we miss the point. And sometimes it comes on to, well, I do, but no, it's not what it's not that all the time. Look at the outcome, because that will be where a lot of problem lies. Also, I got another phone call with reference to again, let me just say this. when I talk about certain subject matter that are not classified, I do it in my office. If the information is declassified, then I bring it to the nation airwaves. So they can't harass me at that point in time, because you can go on any Google search or Chat GPT, whatever it is, Gemini, you can go and look up this information yourself, because it's right there. If you know what to look, and if you have the mind and patience to look for it. So I talk about things that are declassified. And this information came to me again over the weekend because of certain things that was transpiring among certain people who would have taken, and I make no apologies putting it this way, who would have taken the jab, the so-called vaccine. And that particular situation, the definition of what a vaccine is supposed to be was changed, and that didn't change for our benefit. All I can tell you is greed, power, and money. That's all I can say on the nation airwaves, right? But that subject came up, and I had to give some information with that, and I'm going to just remind a couple of people where that is concerned. And again, let me just say this emphatically clear: it will be very difficult for anyone to prove to me that they felt the same way. No, they felt the same way before. No, after they have taken that jab. Meaning, I am sure after you've taken it, you would have noticed your entire biological system would have changed. And there are a lot of reasons for that, okay? The spike protein. And I'm going to tell you folks that this, if you want to sit down on it and make excuses, because I've seen the damages it would have done to hundreds of people. Thank you, my brother Kyle. Hundreds of people who would have come to my office and I helped them with that particular stuff. Hundreds of people. I've seen what it would have done. You can't convince me anything that wasn't the case. And number one, I would have read a lot about it, right? I would have read a lot about it. See people walk in my office that was good before, can't even walk, lost a lot of weight, dropped weight precipitously, looking from 260 pounds to 140 something, man. Come on, man. I mean, let us stop making excuses for these things, right? And try to optimize your structure and function. So there is hope. And the hope is to get to sweep the spike protein out of your system, because it's there. You can go and search for your information and ask the information, how long does that spike protein stay inside of your system? A lot of people don't want to talk about it because, one, we were pressured into it. A lot of times, you know, some of us thought we were doing the right thing until we realized a whole bunch of other information coming out. I'm not going to spend long on this. What I'm saying is that the kind of problem that's been taking place with it, we still need to be mindful and don't pretend it's not there, because pretending not going to make it go away. You need nanokinase. You need nanokinase, 7,000 FUS. You need bromelain. You need licorice root. You need cinnamon bark and a couple other stuff to sweep that out. That is also declassified information that can take that stuff out your body. All right? Dystonia vasculitis, diffuse vasculitis, pericarditis, myocarditis, all that stuff. I only call 48, I 28 more. I'm going to leave that right there for now. All right, so autophagy and mitophagy. Let's jump into that for a little bit. Folks, let me just, before I jump on, let me just check WhatsApp, see how things are going on out there. All right. All right, things look... All right, things look... All right, cool. Things look good so far. I sent one of my brethren a message 8 days ago. He not respond to me and tell me he fell asleep. But I want to know if you sleep for 8 days. Because if you sleep for 8 days, I know you won't be sending no message to me right now. It would be from beyond, and I would know that message from beyond. So, Barney, rest me on that. Okay. All right, so cool. So, let us talk about autophagy for a little bit, and then I'll jump back into the cross-references. And again, before I move forward, sorry about me being all over the place. I always talk like that. But if you track me, you'll realize, again, I talk like a spider web. I go right back into the middle. I look for all the little, you know what I mean? You know how a spider get the prey? Vibration. That's why he set the web up the way it does. And as soon as the slightest vibration, he comes out. looking for you. And once you get on that web, you ain't going nowhere. All right. So pardon me for being all over the place. You know why I chose different type of supplementation synergistically to do certain things in the morning and certain things in the evening? Because you have to understand why you're supplementing and the reason you are supplementing for. Because here's the deal. A product could be real good. They can have a product that is extremely good. But if that is not the reason you are supplementing for from a cellular level, then your product is being wasted. And then it won't work on you. And it may work on another person. But the thing is to understand why you're supplementing and the reason you're supplementing for. That, my people, I can tell you, out of 10%, I have it 9.95. And I can toot my horn on that because I always study. Always. So, my people, my autophagy. No, autophagy. Let me go to autophagy first. Autophagy is a word which is self-eating. Now, how does that happen? Through fasting. Many of us, the reason we are so ill and will never get better, you hear? I underline the word never get better. Feel like we are who we should be by way of nature, by way of the creation of the one that created us, feeling our full potential and our full self, physiologically, spiritually, literally, humanly. The reason we won't get there ever, many of us eat too much nonsense and we eat in a fed state. Even when we are not hungry, we eat. And let me give you a couple of reasons for this. Let me remind you what I always say on the nation, on the airwaves. If you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to do it calorically, you're wasting time. For most of the people who will look at the box food, this percent, whatever, I have this calories, I have this amount of sugar, you go down the line, you're wasting time. Because let me tell you something. While you're starving yourself of calories, your insulin level keep going up. And insulin will make you hungry. And hunger always wins. And let me tell you something. I am not boasting here, but I understand this science to a point, down to the nitty-gritty. It's the reason why if I train in somebody, you have to get results. Either that or you hate me for the rest of your life. Because I don't play when it comes to that. And the reason why my clients with personal training now is very, very far and few, you got to be able to afford me. I'm not playing around with nobody. You have to be able to afford me. I move from a different level. And this is why I was talking about on the onset of the program. I am in a position right now where I am very good in giving the body what it needs to optimize structure and function so it can go to war for you. Because I understand that part of it and I understand why it wasn't working for me at a particular time, and I understand what it needs to get done or what I need to do in order for it to activate and work clinically. So let me go on by telling you this. Autophagy or autophagy is self-eating, meaning when you fast. For you people out there who are struggling with weight, number one, get off the box food. Because that is insulin spiking food. Leave that alone. Ask yourself a couple questions. Did God make this food? Did this come from the earth? If it didn't come from the earth, then it ain't good to eat. So here's my thing. If you're struggling with weight and you're struggling with a particular pathology, even cancer, polycystic ovarian syndrome, fibroids, interstitial cystitis, diastasis recti, you may not know all these diseases, whatever. You come to my office, I'll explain all them things to you, because many women has interstitial cystitis. They are misdiagnosed because it behaves like some men who has problems with their prostate, but it's interstitial cystitis and they're treating you for a prostate issue. I could tell you that because my uncle was there and I took care of him. After he revolving door, after he make 8 wrongs in the hospital, he decided then he's gonna deal with me, and that was his thing of the past. because there are certain things you need to leave out. So I'm saying all this to say is me understanding the dynamics and metric that it needs in way of botanical herb and also fasting in order to put the body in a position where it can go to war for you. Forget all the semantics about what people would say and how this works. Look, if you give the body what it needs, the correct raw material, it will go to war for you. And this starts a lot of time with many of us who eat in a fed state, which is you got to put the body in autophagy. So hear me out now, folks. If you break yourself down to, let's say, a 17 to 18 hours space, give yourself that space and then give yourself an 8-hour eating period, your body will do miraculous thing for you. And let me tell you when I say that, what I mean. You want the last piece of food you put in your mouth, you want to give yourself at least 16 to 18 hours between that time before you eat again. Now, you could consume some ginger tea, you could consume some green tea, you could consume some tea, and you can take your botanical herbs between then. But here what's going to happen when you do that. The body goes into self-eating mode. And all the organelles, the cytokines, the macrophages, those dead cells that clung together that create a lot of problems for us, glycation and oxidation, the body going and eat that up. Do you understand how marvelously made we are? And when you go outside of that metric, you just spinning top in mud. You are going to be walking around with 45% of your true self, 45 to 55%, and where's the rest? Where's the rest? You're walking around like a zombie. You're not feeling good on a daily basis. You wake up, you're tired. You go to sleep, you're tired. You wake up from that, you're still tired. Your blood pressure is through the roof. Your sugar is off. Why all them things that happen? Who said that? You had zombie on you? Who says zombie? Is Obia? Who says so? We like to go to those things because we always look for outside entities to blame. We always look for something to blame because we always duck in accountability. We duck accountability consistent, so we always bring in the other factors that make we do that. Make you do what? Make you do what? So folks, I'm just saying to you, if you space yourself out, like for instance, you may be on your job. It may not be the best job that you like, but you got to do it. You got to do what you got to do. And all of a sudden you go, you're not having eaten for the day. It's like 2 o'clock in the day. You're not having eaten for the day. That's a good thing. You're hungry? No, but I got to eat. Big mistake. Big mistake. And this is the point I'm trying to hammer home here this morning. You do not want to eat. Now, put that down for a little bit. Let's say you ate. You believe the narrative that was pumped out by the standard American diet, which says we're supposed to eat 3 square meals and snack in between. The stupidest advice that ever given to man. Me, I know where they get that from. I don't know how they come up with that. But here what I do know. It sells their product in the morning. It let the company consistently make their money. Me, I know where they come up with it. I'm just telling you. This is what happens. It makes them come up with their money and it adds to their shelf lives. The standard American diet is guaranteed to make you sick. The acronym for the standard American diet is SAD. The word SAD. So you want to eat 3 square meals, snack in between. Tell Mr. Johnson, when would your insulin come down? I will wait. And this is the problem here, where we have, while we don't want to understand the difference between autophagy and mitophagy. Hence the reason I'm giving you this information again this morning. I've done it before, and I will do it again, because many of my program will interlap. It will interwoven with another thing, because I'm trying to get through to my people who perish by lack of knowledge. Again, I don't know everything, but what I know, I know. Understand that. Okay? Understand that. Your confidence in what you hear within your own spirit and the essence of your being must resonate with what I'm saying. If that happens, you're going and find me. Regardless of what other people may think or whatever you go through before, you're going and find me. because something resonates with that conversation I'm having now and what you feeling spiritually. Now certain things, and that switch that needed to be flipped, all of a sudden that light come on, and you will find me. And when you come, some of you guys won't find me, not to, because I'm very rigid and I can be forceful, sitting down in front of grown people, making excuses for being sick. Boy, that has just sent me from 0 to 1 million. You are in a stage where you're afraid to face your own mortality, and yet you compound it by making excuses why you are like that. Oi. All right. So here's the deal. Autophagy, I will advise everyone, you want to be healthy? Give yourself some space between eating habits. Go to 2 meals a day. Trust me, go to 2 meals a day. You will have the most energy in the world. Number one, the body is not that stupid, or physiology is not that stupid to think that if you don't eat, you're going to get dizzy and you're this and you're this and that. Let me just say this. If you are diabetic, type 2 diabetic, not even that will happen to you. Well, I need to eat. Me, I'm talking about if your sugar drop low because you're taking metformin, glycine, glucophage, diamicron, and it dropped too low. Because now that you're going on a fasting stuff, you need to be mindful with taking that stuff, because as soon as you start fasting, your sugar drops precipitously, naturally. It drops naturally, right? Naturally it drops. I can't take any phone calls now, folks. I'm sorry. Okay? Not from my phone, but you're welcome to call into the studio if you have a question for me. Let me give you that number again. Sorry, my people. 342-0081. 342-0081. That's the studio number. If you have a question for me this morning, call in, no problems, and interrupt me. 466-5391. 466-5391. Let me give you those numbers again. 342-0081. Call in if you got a message. If you have a question for me, 432-0081 or 466-5391. 466-5391. Right? You could always interrupt me. Right. So the autophagy, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm fine back my way there. The autophagy, the reason I'm punctuating this so much is that it doesn't matter what the sickness is. Oh, I was talking about people, even with diabetic, type 2 diabetic, your sugar drop precipitously normal, because it's dropping from a hormonal standpoint. And that happens without you having to take diamicron. Here's the problem with me with this. We are going to educated cerebral people for type 2 diabetes. What precipitates type 2 diabetes? I'm not lost in my trainer. I'm just trying to explain to you guys from a wide span why we are literally in the position that we are. Literally in the position that we are. So let me just explain something to you now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cerebral educated people for blood sugar that skyrocket, which the truth and the fact is insulin resistance. That's the pathology of diabetes, insulin resistance. We go on to them, and instead of they say to you, lay off them type of foods that is causing your sugar to rise, or eat whatever you want and we will bring your sugar down with these type of stuff. Glucophage, diamicron, metformin, and the list goes on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no nice way for Mr. Johnson to say this. You're going dead miserably. If you try to fast, it are no maybe, but if no ands. Biochemistry, you're going to burn out all them sugars that sit there, the organelles, the interleukin-6, the macrophages, the nasty cells that fold, protein that don't work no more, that clog up inside your system, that have your gut looking the way it is with this extended stomach and all that. And again, I mean no disrespect when I say it like this. These are facts. Only deal with facts now, please, and ease me up a little bit. That causes this extended stomach and the bloating and all that. It going and clean all that up. You will go off properly. Then your HGH level, which is your human growth hormone, is going right up through the roof, which will make you feel a lot better. On top of that, there's something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor. You're going and feel so alive, so readily. Folks, you don't know what you're missing. And I could tell you, you will get the most amazing sleep ever, especially if you make a 24-hour fast. But you got to take your time to get there. I'm giving you reasons for this. Now, when you do all that, the body goes into what you call mitophagy. This is where all them nasty cells and stuff that it picked up, all them stuff, it recycles it. And then the body uses what it wants, because it will need to carry things to your bone marrow and all that. But it recycles and it uses what it wants and it dashes out the rest of stuff. This is how amazing the body is. But some of us don't have we don't have the courage to do it, because greed overpower, hunger overpower, and we believe that that's going to work. Meanwhile, you're getting worse and worse and worse every single day in your pathology. Why is that so difficult to do? Why you can't just take one little step at a time? At least 1 week and do that's 16 hours extended eating stuff that we call intermittent fasting. You may not want to use the word intermittent fasting, but let's say extended eating period. Why you can't give a little 16 to 18 hours in between there? That's easy to do. Many a times I eat 1 meal a day. Many a time. 1 meal a day. I prioritize protein. I don't fear fats. You understand what I'm saying? And I look for the things that nature gives me. The best protein in life comes from nature. And as I'm on this again, the call yesterday also included eggs. Eggs. Palos, and ladies and gentlemen, again, the best protein in life comes with fat, nature. And we want to go against that, because we want to run up and down and get protein out of bottles and all them stuff, these refined stuff that I'm thinking we're eating protein. Y'all better back up a little bit on that. Okay? Because you can't hinge your life or your protein synthesis on those things that are in the butter, plant-based this and plant-based that. All you back up a little bit on that. I'm not telling you can't use the selective ones in between as a supplement. Do not negate nature's protein. Eggs, I keep telling you guys, that 1-to-1 mix of fat to protein by mass, you don't have nothing to beat eggs in terms of that protein. Nothing. So the people who say, well, I eat eggs, but I don't eat the yellow, you will dangerously lack a viewpoint of knowledge, and you need to take that back where you got it. Because it ain't working for you. That's how it works. So don't fear fats. And I'm talking about animal fat. A lot of times I tell them, use ghee to cook with. Oh, ghee, really? A lot of people talk, yeah, that's ghee because it comes from animal. Your body processes that. That's what you want. Or you want to use the synthetic one? You want to use the oil that comes from the industrial seed oils that come from cow, because most of the cooking oil that we have on the nation, on the grocery shelf, comes from industrial. It comes from tallow grease. All you do all your research and let's scare you now. That beautiful looking oil you see there that look nice and perfume and yellow, car grease, brother, industrial grease. Or you don't believe me? Go look. Because the first thing you all should ask yourself is this: how much vegetable seed are there on planet Earth that they can squeeze to have these oil? Tell Mr. Johnson, I'll wait. Boy, and then they look so beautiful there because they're using hexane and all these stuff and that kind of stuff. They're using all these stuff, and here is the deal now. Here is the deal. Heart health, cholesterol free, and all these craziness that's on the bottle, and then we fall for that. Wow. Let me just take a little time out, check my WhatsApp. Good morning to Mr. Godfrey Stewart. How you doing, my brother, this morning? That is my cousin. Good morning, Kerry Packer. Go on, brethren. Hope all is well. Let me see what's going on here. I did, well, Kyle, did you send, I wanted to send something for, oh yeah, Officer Adams. Yeah, man, I did. Okay, yes, you did send it. Officer Adams, good morning, man. Officer Adams, Officer Adams don't play, you know. Good morning, my brother. My brother don't play. One of these days, he's going to be on, one of these days, Officer Adams going to call in and let people know what I did for him, man. So he always sending people to me. All the time, man. Officer Adams, loving the house to you, my brother. I would just let you know one of your officers visited my office yesterday, and I know he's on the road to recovery. All right? Once again, thank you for your support and your continued belief in me, my brother. Keep standing tall. Love in the house. All right? Good morning, Lisel. Blessed love to you, my dear. Sweet Lisel, profound lawyer. That's my real good friend. We know one another probably about over 5 years now. Good morning, Lisa. Blessed love to you, my dear. All right. I got to try to... Oh, thank you, Miss Greenwich. Thank you, my dear. Thank you very much. You tune in. And I didn't even see a link here, but you tune in. I appreciate that. Miss Caroline Greenwich. Thank you, my darling. Hope you're having yourself a stupendous day. All right? You take care of yourself. Continue to take care of yourself. You look fabulous. For your age, you're giving them young girl a run for their money, girl. Hi! Boy, look here! Let me stop behaving scandalous with the people here. Life is a beautiful thing, man. It is what we make it. We got to do what we got to do and try to enjoy it. You know, it's borrowed time we on, and it's not handed to no one. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, let me just say this faithfully. Kerry, good morning to you, and again, good morning to Godfrey and the whole Stewart family. The best family as well. Good morning, my first cousin and them. Blessed morning to you guys. All right, love in the house, man. So, I'm just saying to you guys now, please try that particular area. Look, we like the easy way out, and I will admit that. As human beings, this is how they program us. This is, they put the insidious little news and stuff, the distraction. This is what I call engineering ignorance. They put all these things to create distractions between us. I understand all that, ladies and gentlemen. I understand all that. But we need to start thinking for ourselves, because the things that, the information that I'm giving you guys now will help you a lot. And then, like I said, that mitophagy that recycles. Listen, just try this for 2 weeks. Just try this for 2 weeks. I guarantee you ain't going back to do things the way you used to do, the way you'll feel. Every single one of us here could survive on one meal, especially those of us who are struggling with some sort of pathology. Not just weight, you know, because let me tell you something now. There are plenty of people. I will get into this one day, and I love to have this conversation when I'm doing lectures and stuff. When I'm giving my little talks, there are hundreds of people who are, their BMI, especially some women, they're voluptuous looking, but are healthy. And there are people who are skinny, and I could go into that, and they're not proper. Because internally they have visceral fats. The kidney fat, the liver fat, everything ain't working the way it ought to work. And that has to do with the size of the cell, and how it operates from a hypoxic definition or situation. This conversation is for another time. So I just explaining to you guys. No, every single one of us here who are struggling with some sort of disease, pathology, whatever it is, it's cancer, in a sexual society, just name it. Endometriosis, heart issue, blood pressure. Try one meal a day. Every one of us could do that. And if you can do it 1 week, eventually you will start doing it for 2 or 3 days. Eventually you can get a 24-hour fasting. And those years and years of macrophages and cells that's inside of your body, all those nasty clumping protein, indigestive protein that cause you to be bloated, and you're going to the drugstore, then it comes to even esophageal reflux, which is heartburn, which they cannot, many of the institutions that we have cannot cure it, because they suppress it, telling you as a person, the reason that you have acid reflux is because you have too much acid in your stomach. Mr. Johnson will tell you right now, emphatically clear, implicitly clear, that's the antithesis of the truth. The reason you have acid reflux is because your hydrochloric acid in your stomach is low. It's supposed to be 1.4, where it can digest the food properly. You have a problem with that? Call 1-800-GOD and have that conversation. Because you see, that type of conversation where you having with acid reflux and you're taking Tums, proton pump inhibitors to hammer the symptoms, that's only making it worse down the road. You want to get that cure? Come by Mr. Johnson, because that's easy to cure. Optimize the structure and function. The hydrochloric acid in your stomach, because the higher the hydrochloric acid, the tighter the sphincter is up at your throat that backs up that acid that have you going nuts, and it can kill you. Eventually, GERD can kill you, right? Esophageal reflux could take you out, because if you get inflamed and they don't know what to do, you get ulcerated stomach, you get ulcer in your stomach, you get a hole in your stomach, you wake up one morning, you start to shake, you're trembling, you're weak, you start losing weight, and then it goes over into something, it's very close to helicobacteria. You know what I'm saying? Helicobacteria, sure, many of you hear about it already. So I'm just here. I'm just going to give you the information as much as I possibly can. As much as I possibly can. And I know sometimes I sound very repetitive, but I have to cross-reference certain things because I very rarely talk from notes. I just stumble when I use notes to talk to, and even PowerPoints. Like I remember one time I was having this conversation with my brethren Jason McPhee, and he said, well, just make a little PowerPoints and stuff, because what he does and other courses he takes, just make a little PowerPoints here and say the way you want to talk and stuff. And that kind of works, except that when I start with that conversation, it bounces off another one. So I don't know, I sort of go with the flow, and it's one of the reasons why I like interactive session. I like protagonists. If I'm giving a lecture, I like men in the thing to give me hard answer. Hard questions, because here I can't get stumbled up. No, I will not get stumbled up. And let me tell you why I will not get stumbled up. If I don't know it, me know what that means, my brother. I'm sorry, I'll get back to you on that. Me even trying to answer that. So I can't get stumbled up and I won't get drawn out. It's just never going to happen. And it happens to guys who are doing lectures and think that they're so good that they have the answer to every question. That's when you fail. Because here my thing is, my premise, if you believe you are the smartest guy in the room, you are in the wrong room. Talk done. So let me just explain a little bit to you again. Every one of us can try the 1 meal thing a day, and then eventually we can try a 24 hours fasting and get these things out of our systems. Now, where the botanical herbs come in, that's where you come to me. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no way I'm planning. It has some people will tell you, I don't take supplements. Everyone, again, is entitled to their own choice. Let me just explain again to you this. In this life that we live in, everything is metallized in choice. Choice. We got to make choice. And out of those choices are consequences. Regardless of how innocent and how profound you think you may be making a choice, because we have to learn on this planet here. Don't fear mistake. Don't be afraid. You're going to stumble. Don't be afraid to make mistake. Don't be afraid to fail. So you have to make choice. But for those of us who come from the elitist bandwagon, playing reverent, we duplicitous, and want to think that we can't make mistake and we better than everybody and don't want to make a choice, let me explain something to you right now. Not making a choice is still a choice because you chose not to choose. Call your life. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is this the receptionist?
No, it's not the receptionist, my dear. This is Mr. Johnson on the air. You calling with reference to the program?
No.
Sorry, my darling. Sorry. Call her, that's Michelle.
What?
Oh, you cut off? Sorry, darling. Sorry. Technician kind of cut off. If you're there, which number to get Michelle on? Any one of that? There? I don't know. What to get Michelle downstairs? All right, my dear. I'm sorry about that. I'm up in the studio doing my thing. Okay, so I don't know how that call. Anyhow, all right. Let me get back to this quick because time is of the essence right now. Let me just look at WhatsApp real quick. Anyway, so Carolyn, you're such a sweet person. You're so nice. Thank you for the big up. Them girl must be dying with you. Carolyn, I don't send big up, I don't send love. Yeah, I sending love to you, girlfriend. You're a good one. Believe what I tell you. Big-hearted lady. We always want to knock down one another. Why we can't highlight the good in people? Why we can't? You're such a good soul and always been. But because you see, you're straightforward like me and sometimes you're raw and vague. People just can't handle that. People just can't handle that. Even if no disrespect is in there, they just can't handle the street talk. They rather you be fake, just like them. I wish we wouldn't do that. I really wish we wouldn't do that. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, the botanical herbs that I offer, okay, I have a plethora of herbs. When you come to me based on a conversation that we would have, you know what, before I go to this, I'm going to just send a beautiful love and encouragement to Mr. Nurse. This man is in the TLHA building in Tobago, Mr. Nurse. He's a holistic brother. He's so humble. And I'm recommending you guys, you have a problem, go to TLHA building, ask the Mr. Nurse, the holistic guy. You can't miss him. Because when you walk, if you're walking from the main road and you pass like Island Finance and them, you're basically walking north up the stairs there on the right hand side, you can find him. Right? That man is, he's so, I had a meeting with him the week before, and last weekend we sat together, and this man, yo, there's no words to explain this man, because he's so humble. When you go by him, he's going to run this test, this diagnostic test on you. And it's not fake. This is probably one of the best systems I've ever seen in my life. It scans the entire body, not with these word stuff and where you can put it in. No. It's showing you the biological function from a structural, a skeletal structure and a muscular structure. So you're seeing your rectus femoris, your man, the whole thing, your sternocleidomastoid. You've seen everything. I was amazed. I said, but if I get one of these systems, I can't sleep. Because the kind of study that I just be doing, I would not be sleep. So, Mr. Nurse, man, love in the house to you, my brother. Big love in the house to you. And keep doing what you're doing, man. God bless you, my brother. Love in the house. Stay strong. So, let me just go back again to say what I'm saying and try to finish off this stuff here. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my disclaimer. If one person would have grasped something I said from this platform this morning, then my hour was worth it. But I'm going to explain something to you again. Botanical herbs is the way to go. And all the brothers and the people who are doing it out there, once you're doing it the correct way and you're doing it sincerely, all the people who come to you will be helped. There's space for every single one of us here, and we all need to work together. Now, if that can't work, well, you got to make a choice. But I go back to what I was saying before. For the elitists who don't think that they have to make a choice because they're so proper, I would just tell you lack a viewpoint of knowledge. Because not making a choice is still a choice. And in that, my friend, there are still consequences. So, that's up to you. You're entitled to do what you need to do and make your choice. Let me go back to something real quick. The diabetes thing. Folks, every food that we eat, because Trinidad and Tobago is permeated with diabetes. Walk the road, young brother's foot cut off, the toe cut off, it's coming from this. And something that we can help. It's sad sometimes. It's really, really sad to see that this happening. And it's because of the food we eat. Hear what the conversation again that intertwined this weekend. This is what they try to convince me of. But Johnson or Jono, you know diabetes is hereditary. And people hold on to that. And I didn't respond to it. It's hereditary and whatever. And this is why some of us can't help it. Again, therein lies the excuses. Because let me put it this way to you. Even if it's hereditary, well, you're going to take that sentence there? Well, number one, it's not hereditary. But even if it is, and this is what I ask you folks, the entire human genome has been mapped. I'm going to repeat myself again with this, and I will always repeat myself. The entire human genome has been mapped. So when you are told that diabetes is hereditary, you can just kindly ask your practitioner, well, what gene did I inherit from my parents? And what chromosome it resides on? It's a very simple question. And I'm going to tell you now, there would be no answer. What happens with diabetes? It's a metallation issue. Whenever we eat a substrate, an amino acids, a mineral, whatever we put into our body, it converts into a usable form. If your body cannot refine that usable form, you will lack something, and that something will establish itself in a chronic way. Why we can't understand that? This is what happens. So it's a metallation issue, which lies in the genes, those mutating genes I keep telling you guys about MTHFR, methylene, tetrahydrofolate reductase, or COMT, COMT, catechol or methyltransferase, or CRR. These are the genes that broken and mutates. Once you can come to me and start talking to me about your specific symptoms, I can tell you what it is you need to supplement with and bring you back on track. It went a quick fix. And stop coming by me and think you'll get fixed in 1 month. You're taking in a whole bunch of stuff, nastying up your body, oxidization, glycation, 10, 15 years, and want you to get better in 1 month. If that is what you want, then that can happen in the theater of your mind. But if you're realistic, a realistic check, you got to be by me. Minimum 120 days. That's 4 months. Sometimes before you even start getting a reason to heal, because so many things has to be recalibrated and fixed after they damage for so long. You think you're going there and going to get this small symptom stuff and believe that everything's going to be okay because you take a medication to get certain things go wrong. And I will tell you the first thing, it's awesome when you're having a pain, you have a headache, and you take a drug. You have a serious headache, you take a drug. That is not the reason why you really need the drug, but it works. It's awesome. I did it before. It's awesome. Me and see, I'm telling you that I never did that. It's awesome. But the point is, it's not taking care of your issue. There's always a precipitation. The headache is the check engine light on the dashboard. Right. The headache is a check engine light. So ladies and gentlemen, I tell you right now, you have a metallation issue. Your body cannot refine the raw materials, and therefore you have problems. And that is the problem with most diabetic, if not all. So, in the meanwhile and in between time, ladies and gentlemen, my time is about done for today on the air. No more time on this earth here, God forbid. Let me knock the wood. Right? My time is almost up from the air. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in, listening. All those of you who I impact, I thank you for that as well. And continue to believe in you. If you believe in you and something resonates from me to you, you will find me. So in the meanwhile and in between time, in this life, we all need each other to be each other. Without each other, we're not each other. If you are my brother's keeper, then you will do what I want to do for you. If that's not the case, we have problems. Wax Dog and all the rest of the crew, Godfrey, Kerry, my bagel folks, Doggy, Cut, everybody. For now, let me just say, Corporal John, good morning to you, my brother. Nicole John, good morning as well. In meanwhile, and between time, this is your boy AJ. Until next time, Megan.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamflo, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on The Street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of The Street 919 FM.
Are you searching for answers to life's questions? Those things that disturb and concern you the most? Why all the wickedness? Why the suffering in the world? Will it end? Who is responsible? Well, if so, join us right here on The Street 91.9 FM every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. with Brother Samuel Gooding and Roland White, where we open the Bible and find answers to all these things and more. For it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
It's easy on a Sunday morning. Tune in to Street 91.9 FM at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Minister Corey Joseph and the Youth Empowerment Foundation as we inspire you, motivate you, and educate you to achieve your dreams and purpose. Live your best life now. Support our vision and programs at any Republic Bank, the Youth Empowerment Foundation, account number 0902-3963-3931. For prayer, counseling, and social outreach, WhatsApp 1-868-701-5555 or call 2 473-1998. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Think big. God has a plan for your life. There is destiny inside of you screaming to come out. Sponsored by JD Guides Funeral Home and Stan Media. We care about you.
This summer, give your child skills of a lifetime with Several Boot Camp. Children between the ages of 5 to 17 come enjoy Children Iron Chef Competition. Your child will learn to prepare healthy breakfast, lunch, dinner, CPR, first aid, and conflict management. With field trip, your child will be given free apron and certification upon completion. Call 492-7397 or 336-4935. Institute of Health and Fitness Company Limited, located at number 79 St. Vincent Street, Tunapuna.
For the month of June, registration will only be $50 to book your space, and you can pay the tuition fee before the start of camp.
Come enjoy incredible June savings at Furniture Plus. Get up to 50% off. Shop appliances, furniture, electronics, mattresses, and more. Buy now and pay later with our fast and easy credit plans. Visit any Furniture Plus store or shop online today.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for